Ben Johnson didn't waste words after Sunday's clash with Miami. He went straight for the jugular, calling out the young core of Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Kyle Manningham, and Austin Booker as difference makers. And in a city that's been starved for homegrown heroes, that kind of praise hits like a cold wind off Lake Michigan before a night game. Burden, wearing that number 87 like it was made for him, didn't just flash highlight reel moves. He showed the kind of situational awareness you can't coach, sprinting to the sideline with 1 second left to set up a field goal that kept the Bears within striking distance at halftime. That's the type of detail work this franchise hasn't seen consistently since '85, and it makes you wonder if this rookie is already playing clock like a veteran. What happens when the stakes are a frozen December in Lambeau? But here's where it gets interesting. Burden's stat line was modest 2 catches, 3 targets, 14.5 yards per catch. 19 total yards, yet every yard felt like a blueprint for how this offense could evolve. He was passed over by every team. In the lead before Chicago grabbed him in the second round, and now every Sunday is a chance to make the ones who doubted him pay. Loveland and Manningham are in that same proving ground, still earning Ben Johnson's trust, a word he called strong. Strong for a reason, because he refuses to crown anyone before they've fought through the grind. And that grind is where the next shift could happen. Kyle Manningham, the 7th round steal from Rutgers, is running like the depth chart is his to claim. 6 carries, 30 yards, 3 broken tackles, maybe 4 if you ask his teammates, and a 13-yard burst where he shrugged off 2 defenders like they were afterthoughts. With Rashawn Johnson and Travis Homer battling injuries, Manningham could sneak into the RB2 role, setting up a 1-2 punch with DeAndre Swift that defenses in the NFC North won't want to see in open space. But that's not the part that will split Bears Nation. It's the quiet quarterback battle brewing behind Caleb Williams. Tyson Bagent and Case Keenum aren't just filling reps. They're auditioning for the insurance policy no one wants to think about, but everyone knows matters. Bagent cleared 100 passing yards with a touchdown. Keenum delivered 2 scores without a pick. And the offense ran clean with 0 pre-snap penalties, a sign that Ben Johnson's discipline is taking root. Imagine a late-season push where one of them has to step in cold against Minnesota with the division on the line. Can you feel the tension? And then there's Austin Booker, the second-year edge who's turning potential into something much scarier. 6 tackles, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, 4 QB hits, those aren't just stats. They're drive killers, momentum swings, and locker room fuel. He's been sharpening his game with Montez Sweat and Dennis Allen, and it showed against Miami's starters. If he and Gervin Dexter lock in as a tandem, we're looking at the kind of rotational depth that keeps offensive coordinators up at night. This is where it gets dangerous, because we've been teased before, lulled by August dominance that evaporated under real bullets. But if this group is as real as they looked, the ripple effect through the NFC North could be seismic. So here's the question, Bears Nation. Are we seeing the first steps of a youth movement that drags Chicago back into the fight for banners? Or is this just another flicker before the cold sets in? Would you risk another heartbreak if it meant watching this team chase glory one more time? Bears Nation, if your blood's not running hotter than the lights over Soldier Field before a prime kickoff, then you're missing the pulse of what's coming, because from the locker room chatter to the sideline stares, this team is teetering on the edge of something that could define not just a season, but an era. Word from inside Hollis Hall is that Ben Johnson isn't just shuffling depth charts. He's crafting matchups like a chess master who knows every opponent's weakness. And that's got veterans and rookies alike fighting for every inch of turf in practice. Luther Burden's route precision isn't just about moving chains, it's quietly forcing vets to recalibrate their own games. And that kind of pressure can either sharpen a unit or split it down the middle. And if you think that's all, you're missing the undercurrent. Coaches are tweaking practice reps to pit certain personalities against each other, testing chemistry under stress the way Ditka once tested his '85 squad. And the sparks in these sessions are more than just friendly competition. They're auditioned for who can handle playoff caliber tension before the first frost hits the lakefront. But here's where the season could crack wide open. Whispers of an aggressive midseason move for a proven defensive anchor are already floating, and if that happens, it could push young guns like Austin Booker into rotational chaos or elevate them into legends overnight. Booker, still riding the high of those 3 sacks against Miami, has been spotted in extra film sessions with Montez Sweat, dissecting blocking schemes from NFC North rivals. Imagine that preparation detonating in the December clash with Green Bay as the lakefront wind whips through the stands and the roar of freezing fans shakes the turf. A scene straight out of Bears lore, where defense wins the night. And don't forget, the front 7 isn't the only battlefield. Kyle Manninguy's bruising 5 yards a carry debut is no longer a feel-good story. It's a potential lifeline if Swift or Johnson falter, and you can feel the tension in the RB room as the possibility of him leapfrogging into RB2 status looms larger every snap. That kind of shakeup has historical echoes. Think Thomas Jones in 2006, a back who wasn't supposed to be the headline, but became the heartbeat of a playoff push. But here's the pivot no one saw coming. Case Keenum's flawless red zone execution in camp is forcing coaches to quietly debate whether his calm veteran hand is the better safety net than Bajan's gunslinger unpredictability. A conversation that echoes back to when Lovie Smith chose steadiness over flash to reach the Super Bowl. Every decision has weight now, and even small ones could tilt the arc of the season. The front office knows this. Two-cap whispers are swirling about locking in a core piece before the market spikes. And history tells us these are the gambles that haunt franchises for decades, if misplayed. Just ask the ghosts of players let go in their prime. And while the negotiations stay behind closed doors, you can see their shadow in practice intensity. Vets playing like they're securing futures. Rookies sensing blood in the water. Picture it. 4th and 1 in the shadow of the north end. Zone, clock bleeding out. Division lead on the line. Do you trust the rookies who lit up August, or lean on the veterans whose scars came from winters spent clawing for every win? This is where it gets dangerous, where a wrong step can unravel momentum faster than a blown coverage on a cold night against Minnesota. And the stakes climb higher with every day the trade deadline creeps closer, because the unspoken question rattles louder through every corner of the building. Is this the roster that stormed January, or the one that folds under the spotlight? Layer in the ripple effects, make that trade for a star defender, and maybe you lose the cap space to keep a young offensive weapon next year. Hold the line now and risk watching a rival grab the final piece to topple you in Week 17. Soldier. Field has felt this kind of tension before, the sort that makes every hit in practice sound like a warning shot. And you can see it in the way position coaches bark between reps like they're already in the 2-minute drill of the season. The energy is electric, but electricity can light up a stadium or burn it down, and no one knows which it will be until the first big gamble is made. So Bears fans, ask yourself, would you pull the trigger knowing it could define the next decade? Or hold the cards tight and pray the hand you've got can win the pot? Personally, I think the foundation is real, but the margin for error is razor-thin. One bold move could turn this group into contenders or send us back into another rebuild cycle we've been trying to escape for years. If it were me, I'd swing for the fence now, because opportunities like this don't come twice.